Once upon a time, there was a kind and honest young man named Nyolong. His parents passed away when he was very young, so he lived with his elder brother and sister-in-law. His brother and sister-in-law treated Nyolong very poorly, making him work from dawn to dusk yet giving him very little food. One day, they gave him an old ox and a broken cart and drove him out of their home. From then on, Nyolong and the old ox lived together. He worked hard to cultivate several pieces of wasteland for growing crops and built a thatched hut on a hillside. 2 years later, the thatched hut was replaced by a tile-roofed house, and the granary was full of grain. However, aside from the old ox, Nyolong was alone in the house, and life was very lonely. One day, the old ox suddenly spoke, "Nyolong, I was originally the golden ox star in the sky, banished to the mortal world for breaking heavenly rules. Today, several fairies will go to the billion pool to bathe. You should go there and hide the red fairy garment. The fairy wearing the red garment will become your wife." Seeing the ox speaking was both strange and delightful to Nyolong, so he asked, "Ox brother, is what you say true?" The ox nodded its head. Therefore, Nyolong went to the billion pool and quietly hid in the reeds, waiting for the fairy's arrival. Before long, several fairies indeed floated down from the sky, took off their clothes, and jumped into the pool. Nyolong then ran out from the reeds and took the red fairy garment. Seeing someone approaching, the fairies hastily put on their clothes and flew away in a panic, leaving only the fairy without clothes who couldn't escape. She was the Weaver Girl. The Weaver Girl was the granddaughter of the Queen Mother of the West and was very beautiful. Every day, she would weave beautiful clouds with silk thread alongside several other fairies. Nyolong returned the clothes to the Weaver Girl. After she dressed, Nyolong stepped forward and said, "Miss, would you become my wife?" The Weaver Girl looked at the kind and honest Nyolong and shyly nodded her head. After they got married, Nyolong worked in the fields every day, and the Weaver Girl wove cloth at home. They loved each other dearly, and their life was happy and fulfilling. Soon, they had a son and a daughter, both very adorable. Later, the Queen Mother of the West learned of this and was furious. She immediately sent celestial beings to capture the Weaver Girl and bring her back to heaven for punishment. The celestial beings descended from the sky and forcibly took the Weaver Girl away. This loving couple was thus separated. Nyolong, holding his crying children, watched his wife flying higher and higher and began to cry as well. At this moment, the old ox spoke again, "Nyolong, I am about to die. After my death, if you take my hide, wear it, and you can fly to heaven to chase after the Weaver Girl." With that, the ox fell to the ground and died. Nyolong, with tears in his eyes, flayed the ox, buried it, and then found a carrying pole and 2 baskets to place his children in. Carrying the baskets and wearing the ox hide, he flew to the sky. Gradually, the distance between them and the Weaver Girl became shorter and shorter. As they were about to catch up to the Weaver Girl, the children, in their urgency, spread their arms wide and loudly called out for "Mother." But at that moment, the Queen Mother of the West arrived, riding on auspicious clouds. She took out her golden hairpin and drew it across the sky, creating a galaxy that separated Nyolong and the Weaver Girl. The Weaver Girl, looking at Nyolong and her children on the other side of the galaxy, wept with heart-wrenching sorrow, and Nyolong and the children also cried desperately. Their weeping was so moving that even the fairies and celestial beings watching felt heartbroken and could not bear it. The weeping touched the magpies of the world. Tens of thousands of magpies flew over and built a sturdy bridge for Nyolong and the Weaver Girl to meet. Seeing this, the Queen Mother of the West had no choice but to allow the couple to meet once a year on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month on the Magpie Bridge.